All right, guys and gals, here we are. We're in the shop working on our 1981 Chevy El Camino, Karman. So what we got going on today, all right, let's get you in here and see if you can see this. You can see this car is low. She's low. She's so low she barely won't go. Okay, so what we got here you're looking at is front air dam, okay? Now let me get you in here and look. This is how, that's how low this thing is. Okay, I've got pretty big hands, but you can get the idea there. So what we're looking at here, my idea is we're going to swap this front suspension out. Okay, if you can tell, I don't know if you can tell or not, but that's the bump stop. The old baby, she's on her. You can't even hardly see the spring in the pocket in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this jacked up, the wheels off of it, start tearing into this thing, see if we can't get this front suspension a little higher. And the way we're going to do that, get your back out from under here. We got a set of used springs here, come off another project. All right, 25 years of doing this, you tend to collect stuff over the years. These are either off the Camino or a Nova or Chevelle or GM product of some nature. But they're big block springs. You can see there, I'm going to tell you, they look like truck springs. But what we're going to do, we're going to take old Karman here, and we're going to give her a nose job. We're going to get her front end up in the air. This poor car won't even go over a speed bump. You all right back there? Okay. So you guys can see, I'm old school. I like the old school vibe. We got the lace work on here. We got the bubbles on here. You know, metal flaked out. I'm gonna give this thing more of a gasser look than a lowrider look. So let's get set up here. We'll click you back on when we're ready. Oh, she's after that ball, something terrible. You get it? That's a good girl. All right. Y'all see my problems? See what I deal with? Now you're not seeing double. I got two of them fancy green jacks. Cargo freight, baby. Pressure on this jack, we'll get rid of this other one. We don't want it doing the old tippy-turvy. Shaky test. All right, here we go. We get our tools gathered up here to start getting after this gal. All right, guys and gals, let's get this wheel pulled off. Oh yeah, you can see she definitely mashed that bump stop good. All right, we're gonna gather some more tools up, get you set up. Let's get this thing tore apart. jack under there, we can take out our castle nut, which, oh, that's lovely. Hold on to that. That doesn't seem very tight at all. We're going to back this off, but we ain't going to take this out the whole way. And I'll tell you why. We're going to use this as a safety measure. Alright? We're going to end up taking our, oh yeah, whacking that dealio right there till she pops this bottom ball joint loose for us. And guys and gals, safety first. Take proper precautions. See that pop up there? That's what you're after. Now this thing's like a hand grenade now. Be mindful of what you got going on. We're going to give it a little jack pressure. I'm just going to twist this off a little bit. I see I got plenty of thread still left, but you want to be mindful of that. And give it just a little jack so I know for myself that that spring's captured. You see the ball joint go up? There you go. Okay. So we're going to back this nut off. You see there's air under there. There's no pressure on that now. But if that jack wasn't under there, it's just going to shove this bottom control arm down. And that you don't want. Alright, there you go. And as you lower that down, that's going to take the pressure off of that. I'm going to get myself something to tie up the upper control arm and caliper and spindle. That way that's not hanging on the brake line. Alright guys and gals, we're going to lower this thing down slowly. See it start to separate there? That's what you're after. Now I'm going to hold that. I'm going to tie up my control arm to make sure that stays where I want it so it's not drooping on my brake line. Get all that secure and we'll finish taking this spring out. Alright, here we go. We're going to let this thing down, see what happens. Yeah, you can definitely tell they're cut springs. There's no tension on that at all. We'll get this yanked out here and we'll lay it beside the new one and show you the difference and see what we're going to get. Alright guys and gals, here we are. We're back. So as you can see, look at our difference here. Now, you notice we got more springs here than what we started with. And there's a reason for that. We'll get to that. So, as you can tell, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I need a little more height. I need a little more suspension geometry, not just bottomed out. Okay, I want this thing to ride good. I want to be able to enjoy it. So what we got, I looked on here, these are Belltech springs. So what I'm running into here, okay, because a lot of the cars that I have around here, they're older cars, so this is kind of a newer car. But if you'll notice here, they're two totally different sizes. This is the one we took out. This is the one I was hoping to put in. This one here is off of a Nova. Okay, I know that for a fact. This one here is off an S10 truck, G-body, all the same suspension stuff. So, what I'm running into, this older style spring does not fit in the pocket that this newer style spring has. Okay, the circumference in here is too small. The last thing you want to do is put this thing in there, have it sitting on top of that pocket, because there's a ridge inside the control arm. See that lip there where the shock comes through? That centers your spring in there. Okay, that wouldn't allow it to sit inside that. Okay, I tried it, trust me, and I've been scratching my head here, but I gotta have this car together because, like you guys and gals know, this is my daily driver. So we come up with a different solution. I think I still have them here somewhere. I'm going to run around my shop and see if I can come up with a set of spring spacers. Okay? So let me get them, and we'll show you what we're going to do next. We'll click you back on. Alright guys and gals, we're back. this is what I come up with. We see here, this is a poly, I guess it's polypropylene, I don't know. It's hard plastic, okay? But they're claiming, you see this thing, it's got 1 inch there, but it has a pocket, spring pocket. So that sits in there and keys off of that, and it's supposed to give you 1 inch of height. So that's the best I could come up with on short notice, okay? And that'll get us back on the road here. Get out of here with that. All right. And then that way, we can order parts and know what we need now that we tore it apart. So this is where we're at. This is what we got, and this is what we're going to do. So we're going to get this put together, put back in there, and see what it does for us. We'll click you back on when we're ready. All right, guys and gals, let's see what we can get going here. Let's see how this fits up in here. Oh, man. All right. See this in here, it's tapered. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is tapered, and as I put that up in there, man, that really keys that thing in. All right. And I did look, these springs here, unless somebody went through the trouble of painting them, they're not cut. I looked the part number up on here, they're for a pickup truck. We're going to go with them until our new parts come in. I'm going to get that on there, and it's clocked on its spot. Let's feed this mess up in here. Now you want to make certain that that's around. In the frame up here, there's a little spot, okay, where that collar slips around. You want to make sure that's in there, because that's what locates your spring in the pocket. You want to make double, triple certain that all this is lined up. Here you go, shoving her home. See if I can let this down and catch this with my face. I didn't position my jack right so I could use my leg. What was I thinking? That snuck in there. Still up there kicking. Oh, nope. That did it. Alright, so I'm going to have to reposition this jack so I can use the old foot method. Alright, give us a second to get repositioned here and we'll get this thing back in. We're getting whipped today, y'all. Alright, guys and gals, we're back. We're going to get it this time. We're going to get her this time. Alright, we got our spring, got our little lift spacer, got that all keyed in. We're going to get this fed in here, set in our top pocket. Maybe, yeah. There we go. Now I got my jack where it's working. You want to be mindful here. This is going to start having pressure under it. All right. Got our top in. Got our bottom started. We can get this guy jacked up into place. Start to guide our stuff in. Right there, I don't know if you noticed that, but it just started to have tension on it. Alright, check our bottom spring pocket. That's looking good. We're in the cup. Do yourself a favor, don't go crazy with this. Get this all buttoned back up so that spring don't come out and hit you in the face. Now I will tell you from experience, watch this dust shield and this bottom control arm because they will get entangled. And that really make you stress out. All right, see how that's coming through there? We're not gonna get wild with it. We're just gonna put this nut on here. That's gonna be like our little safety pin. Put that grenade away. See how that ball joint got seated in there? All right, guys and gals, we're gonna finish putting this all together. We'll show you what it looks like after we get the other side done and get this baby back on the ground. Like I said, sometimes your projects and you plan them, they just don't work out, so you gotta improvise. So that's what we're doing here today. And I figured instead of throwing the video away, I might as well show you guys what we go through. This is the reality of it. It can be frustrating sometimes. Just stay the course and you'll get her done. All right, we'll get this wrapped up. We'll cut you back on. All right, guys and gals, let's get this guy down off the jack. All right, let's see what she looks like on the ground. Well, it's definitely looking better up there. It ain't settled in yet, but I mean, just barely. See if I can get you in here, show you. Now we just got space between our bump stop and our frame. That'll get us by for now, guys and gals. We're definitely gonna have to get some parts. And what do you think about it, Thingy? Fix this up the way we want it. I don't know if you guys and gals can see much of a difference there. The dog will move. There we go. She's got a little height back to her. Not where we want it yet. But just goes to show, start out with a plan. Sometimes it always don't work out. You gotta be willing to adapt and overcome. I think I ever showed the motor in this thing. She got a little hotness to her. Nothing too radical. It's a nice little cruiser. Steel hood, baby. Alright, guys and gals. You know why we do it. For the love of hot rods and horsepower. Go out there and get yourself a project. Start enjoying it.